Every time a crash happens, we hear the same line. No one saw this coming. But history says otherwise. Economic crashes often look different on the surface. Different assets, different headlines, different excuses. But underneath, the pattern is usually the same. And once you see that pattern, crashes stop looking random. They start looking repeatable. A crash is never just about markets. It affects jobs, savings, homes, retirement, everyday decisions. That is why this matters. Because most crashes are not sudden accidents. They are slow systems that build for years. Then they break all at once. In this video, we'll break that cycle into 5 simple ideas. Why calm times can create hidden danger. How debt slowly becomes fragile. Why crowds push bubbles higher. What finally breaks the system. Why the same lesson gets forgotten. And once you connect those 5 ideas, the pattern becomes much easier to spot. Big crashes may look unique, but the engine behind them is often very old. You can see it in the Great Depression. You can see it in the dot-com crash. You can see it in the housing crash of 2008. The details change. Human behavior usually does not. That is why economic crashes repeat. The first idea is simple. Long periods of stability can create danger. When the economy feels calm for a long time, people feel safe. When people feel safe, they take more risk. At first, that risk looks reasonable. Families borrow carefully. Businesses expand slowly. Banks stay cautious. But after years of good news, the memory of the last crash fades. People start to believe the system is stronger than it really is. Risk does not disappear. It just becomes harder to notice. And that is when borrowing starts to stretch beyond what makes sense. The second idea is the debt ladder. Think of borrowing like 3 levels. Level 1 is safe. You can pay the loan. You can pay the interest. Your income covers both. Level 2 is weaker. You can still pay the interest, but you cannot really pay down the loan itself. You survive by rolling the debt forward. Level 3 is dangerous. Your income cannot even cover the interest. Now the whole plan depends on one thing. The asset price must keep rising. A house, a stock, a business, anything. If the price stops going up, the system becomes unstable fast. So the higher people climb on the debt ladder, the more fragile the economy becomes. The third idea is crowd behavior. This is where bubbles grow. People see others getting rich. A friend made money. A neighbor bought at the right time. The news keeps talking about rising prices. And suddenly, nobody wants to be left behind. That creates a loop. Higher prices create excitement. Excitement brings in more buyers. More buyers push prices even higher. Then a story appears. This is a new era. The old rules don't apply. Technology changed everything. This market can only go up. The asset changes, but the story is always familiar. The crowd starts believing that high prices are normal. And once that belief spreads, the bubble gets bigger. The fourth idea is the breaking point. Bubbles usually do not need a huge shock. Sometimes something small is enough. Interest rates rise a little. Growth slows down. Prices stop climbing. That is often all it takes. The people carrying the most debt suddenly realize they cannot keep going. They need cash. So they start selling. But when too many people sell at once, buyers disappear. Prices fall. Then falling prices create panic. Panic creates more selling. More selling pushes prices even lower. This is when the crash feels sudden. But the truth is, the weakness was already there. The crash did not create the fragility. It revealed it. The fifth idea is short memory. After a big crash, people become cautious again. There is fear. There is anger. There are new rules. Banks pull back. Borrowers become careful. For a while, the system becomes safer. But over time, that caution fades. Growth becomes the priority again. Old rules start to feel restrictive. People look for loopholes. Debt finds new forms. Risk gets hidden in new places. And the most dangerous sentence returns. This time is different. That is why the cycle repeats. Not because we have no information, because we forget. When you connect these 5 forces, the pattern becomes clear. Stability creates confidence. Confidence increases borrowing. Borrowing inflates prices. Rising prices attract the crowd. And when prices stop rising, the whole system can reverse fast. So crashes are not random events. They are often the final stage of a cycle that looked safe for too long. The names always change. In one era, it might be tulips. In another, internet stocks. In another, housing. In another, AI hype. But the deeper pattern stays surprisingly similar. That is the real lesson. Economic crashes usually begin during the years when everything feels calm. And that is why they keep repeating. When stability lasts too long, people borrow more, prices rise faster, caution fades, and the system becomes fragile long before anyone calls it a crisis. This is Simplexplain, complex ideas simply explained.